122 to 115, the final, as we welcome you to the Brooklyn Nets post-game show. Ryan Ruocco with you, live from Barclays Center, joined by Richard Jefferson, who is at his home in Los Angeles. Richard, Harden, Durant, we know it's a stars league, and wow, was their performance special tonight. What stood out most to you about the win in Harden's debut?
Congratulations, Nets fans. Congratulations. You don't know how long these moments last. You don't know when they come and when they go. But what stood out to me is that this team, when healthy, is going to be a problem. Now, do they have every single thing that is needed in order to be considered, the favorite or a team that's guaranteed to go to the finals? No, they have work to do. But boy, when I tell you that the entire league looking around seeing James Harden all of a sudden wake up and get 14 assists in his debut, to see Kevin Durant go for 42. And this is what I like. Kevin Durant is a scorer. Kyrie Irving, even though he is a point guard, is also a scorer. But what you know with James Harden is that he has led the league in assists. So he knows how to get himself involved. He knows how to get some teammates involved. So when everyone's talking about, okay, well, who's going to handle the ball? Who's going to do this? I think James Harden really running that point and allowing Kyrie and KD to be just dominant scorers and him being the person that kind of navigates his game, I think that could be a real problem.
Well, I mean, no question about it. And, Richard, I think that was one of the things that stood out most, right? First few possessions out of the gate, Harden was all about distributing, breaking down his performance tonight as we take a look, Richard, what you see from James Harden.
Well, again, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at, I said the role players, and I love what Joe Harris did. I love seeing Bruce Brown, that play late in the game where it was Harden to Durant. Then all of a sudden, Durant makes the right play and throws it to a wide-open Bruce Brown. Those are the guys that have to knock down shots when you look at championship teams. It's the Bruce Brown. It's the Joe Harris, because the stars are going to get attention. And with James Harden, Kyrie, these are guys that entire defenses, a team spends their entire practice and focus, how do we stop James Harden? How do we stop Kevin Durant? When they were on individual teams, now you have all three of them on the same team. It's going to be nearly impossible. They are going to be getting more single coverage than they have ever had. For Kevin Durant, a guy that played with the Splash Brothers, now all of a sudden he's got the very, very similar spacing because you have so many quality players. And James Harden, again, it just goes down to his assists. His assists are the things that are going to make this team run.
Well, 32 points, 14 assists, 12 rebounds. You add in 4 steals as well. Did have 9 turnovers. And I like that was one of the first things he brought up to Michael Grady in his post-game interview, saying, I got to clean up the turnovers. But, Richard, I think what was so striking, and we've already talked about it some, was, people have seen James Harden play a certain way in Houston over the last couple of years. And so there have been conversations about, dribbling the air out of the basketball, how they're going to continue to get everyone involved. But these players wanted this, which obviously shows their inclination to want to do whatever they have to win. And James Harden has shown that ability to play make, and it's not just that he has the skills to do it, Richard. There's the buy-in now to not play the way he was in Houston and to access more of those playmaking abilities, and we saw that already in Game 1.
Ryan, I 100% agree with you. What you have to do is you have to look around the league sometimes. And James Harden has led the league in assists. And then as his team and the dynamic of his team started to change, he then started to be like, okay, well, I'm going to go and average 34 points a game. Look at a guy like LeBron James. You add Anthony Davis on his team, and what does he do? Just at 10 a game. I really think that James Harden, even though we're in the very beginning of the season, could lead the league in assists if he chooses to play that way. And so when you ask James, like, James, what is your goal? Sometimes it's to be the leading scorer. Sometimes it's to be the MVP. These guys that are on this tier, when you talk about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and James Harden and LeBron James, they can adjust their game. It's all a matter about what they want to do on the basketball floor. So if you tell James, like, James, we need you to average 25 and 10, or we need to average 26 and 11, he can go and do that, and pretty much with ease, especially with the arsenal around him. So I think this was a quick message to everyone on this team, everyone in this league, league that, look, they're going to be able to move the ball. They're going to be able to score. The next step that we're going to be talking about is how do they play that high-level team defense that's going to be needed when you're talking about the postseason.
You know, Richard, during the game, I thought Sarah had a very poignant and simultaneously funny remark when she said, it feels like Kevin Durant is a veteran here now with all the attention on James Harden, the newcomer, and it sort of does, but you watch the performance tonight and you realize